Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Chelsea.
And this is our van, Vanny DeVito.
Did you know if you list your van with Outdoorsy, you can earn up to $50,000 a year? Check the link in the description to find out how.
Vanny is a 1988 Chevy P30. He's got a V8 diesel engine in it, which is really nice for driving all over the place. We were able to snag it before it went to the dump, so we actually picked it up for pretty cheap and brought it back to life, which was really awesome. Used to be an old postal service vehicle, so it's cool to get it back out on the road. So we decided to just tape off some stripes and just use like regular exterior house paint. And so we just rolled it all out and then went through with brushes and just cleaned up the rest. We've seen a lot of people do like professional paint jobs, and we just decided that it would be kind of fun to just do this last little piece ourselves.
All right, come on inside. This is our kitchen galley. We went with a propane Furrion oven and stovetop. We actually do use the oven. We cook a lot. We'll make roasts, we do stuffed sweet potatoes, lots of cookies and breads. So we went with these light switches because the vibe of them just matched everything. We weren't really interested in the simple white ones, and since we only have two, we decided to splurge on ones that would just really match the style and go with what we were going for in here. One of our most recent additions is going to be this Berkey. We got it after about a month ago, so we were living in here about 3 months. And we just didn't like the taste of the plastic from our water tanks. You can put really disgusting water in there and it clears everything out. We went with 3 IKEA house cabinets, and these 2 are full size, and then we just cut this one to fit. It was just a little bit too long and it fits the stove and oven just right. And then we painted them because they're just the simple basic ones, and on top here is Formica to give it a marble look. We got really lucky with our van having the square walls, so we were able to just fit these cabinets in without having to build them. And because our van is very wide, we were able to stick with the house size cabinets, and we still have enough room for walking space and to have a bench on this side. This cabinet right here is our pantry. You open it up, and we went with shelving instead of drawers because as we drive, the sliders can shift and they not always slide out as easily. So this makes it super organized for us to just have them have fixed shelves. This is our sink. We went with a round sink and went with a similar rounded faucet that does pull out and has a sprayer attachment. And we just leave it always on because we have a foot pump at the bottom, and if we turn it off, we forget.
So for all of our cabinets, we decided to go with these little pull latches. They're made out of vegan leather because we didn't want to use real leather. So we had to search those out, but we found those, and they're really nice to just pull the cabinets open. So up here in our upper cabinet, we've got a little bit of our pantry and kitchen stuff, and we decided to use, I think they're like 8 or 15 pound pulls. That way nothing comes flying out. It still does sometimes, but you got to make sure it's secure. And then this one is one of our closet spaces, so we threw some dividers in there, and you know, you can kind of make these your own. That's the cool part about getting like the blank slate cabinets, is you can just build them out how you want to. So with the fact that our van is a bit wider than like a standard cargo van or Sprinter van, we were able to put a full-size bed sideways. I'm about 5'10", and I still have enough room to kind of spread out, and I'll touch the walls a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then we decided to put like a little divider up on the side to make sure that our pillows don't fall into the sink while we're sleeping. Sometimes there will be a little bit of extra water there. Here on the front of our bed, we've got our fridge. We decided to put a pull-out fridge underneath. That way we could have it kind of, you know, hidden away when it's not being used. We went with a 60-quart Iceco fridge, which has 2 zones, so you can do a fridge and a freezer section. We currently just use it for just a fridge because the freezer does draw a little bit more off the batteries, and with our current setup we can go about 2 to 3 weeks with fresh produce and whatnot. So another thing we love about Vanny is the height. We're able to have quite a bit of storage underneath the bed and still be able to sit up. I mean, I even have enough room to not bonk my head, and we can kind of sit up through the skylight and check out the stars. And then we also decided to put a big 4-foot by 3-foot window in the back so we can slide that open when the cats want to go out and get some fresh air. As you can see, we share the van with 3 little furry friends. We've got Winston over here, Russell right here, and then Arthur in the back. So we really tried to make sure that we could incorporate a lot of cat stuff in here, because we definitely need to have them happy as well as our adventures. You know, you don't want to make them upset when you're taking them out on the road. So we took a PVC pipe, wrapped it in some Cecil rope, and made a little scratcher. We made some floating shelves that we can also have some of our things kind of sitting up on, but then we found these really cool porthole windows to where the cats can sit out and like look outside and get a nice little view. One of the things I really wanted to incorporate was like some raw wood and different stained wood in here, just because I like to work with wood a lot. And so we decided to keep all of the wood the same, so we went with a pine, and we decided to make it into slats for the ceiling. And so for the ceiling we put up a 1/4 inch just like plywood panel and painted that a dark tone. That way it gave a shadow effect. And then we took these 1 inch by 2 inch slats and cut them down to size and secured them up to the roof.
One thing we really wanted in a small space was to have open seating and open area, make it feel really big in here. And so we built this with enough room so you can sit underneath the shelves, and then we didn't want all of the ugly electrical components just out, so we hid them in this little wall that has a magnet on one side so it stays up. And so we've got plug-in and then a light switch for this sunlight. Okay, so our seating, our bench are lift up on hinges, and this one happens to be the litter box room. We painted a mural, so it was kind of like fun for them in there. And we put fake grass to kind of catch the litter, so it does, you know, trail out, but not as bad as we've had in the past. We do scoop it 3 times a day to keep the smell low and the cats happy. They don't run out when we open the door. We don't leave it open either. But if we do open it, it's not like we have to kick them away or anything. They just sleep and chill.
So next to the cat litter box on the other side of the couch, we have our Nature's Head composting toilet. We put it on a slide so we can pull it out and use it. And we decided to go with the Nature's Head because it literally has no smell. It vents out through our wheel well, and you know, the only smell you get is that little bit of driving that everyone talks about. So if anyone knows how to fix that, let us know. It's nice, it diverts the pee and does all the good stuff, so it's really good. We probably change it out, kind of depends on use and where we're at and whatnot, but about 4 to 6 weeks or so you can go about switching it out every now and again. Most people we know just run like a max fan, but since we have the 3 cats, we decided to go with an AC. So we've got a Dometic AC, and we just run that off shore power. We just have a generator that we use just in case, but we don't use it very often. And then going into kind of our electrical stuff, we've got a solar charger, a Victron solar charger with 400 watts of solar panels on top. And then we've also got a Victron DC to DC charger that goes to our 840 amp hour battery bank. So we've got a good amount of capacity that can last us a while if we do get to like the Oregon coast where it's kind of shady and nice. Since Vanny's an old 1988 van, we decided to keep the cab kind of original. There's a few things that don't work 100%, but it's just really cool looking, so for now we just love it. For our heat source, we decided to go with a Cubic mini wood burning stove. It just vents straight up out the roof, and all that stuff is to spec, so everything's nice and safe around the electrical. You know, you don't get a ton of capacity out of it, but I mean, the fact that it's so amazing and cozy kind of just works for the heat. And you know, there's times that we load it up and you're literally sweating in here, so you have to open the windows to cool down. It's fantastic. Now we're up on the rooftop deck. We decided to use Unistrut to secure the deck slats to the top, and then we also put a solar shower up here, and then we've got our bike mounts so we can hang some bikes off the back as well. The rest of the roof, we've got our solar panels, fan, AC, and then we also use a WeBoost as a cell signal booster, which is pretty awesome. They were hard to find good reviews on, but we're really happy with it. Thank you guys so much for coming and checking out our van tour.
You can find us on Instagram at Wild in the Hills, where we're posting our journey and adventures all the time. And we hope to see you on the road.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.